Hi everyone! We haven't done a live in a while, so we thought we would, it's a bit cold.
It's cold,
so
yeah, last night was cold.
It was very cold, so we thought we'd come and talk to you about our Woolbabe sleeping suits.
Yeah.
Because we've got a deal on them at the moment, so we thought we'd give you the opportunity to learn more about them and also to ask us some questions.
Yeah, get us questions coming in.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's not Lou.
It's not live with Lou.
No, it's live with Amelia and Amanda.
Yeah.
Lou isn't well at the moment, so hopefully she's in bed. She's probably watching.
Yeah. Get well soon.
So we are going to talk to you about the sleeping suits today. So my name's Amelia. I look after the social media at the sleep store, so I answer questions and do all the posting and stuff. And this is Amanda.
Hi, I look after the production, so getting it all made, getting it all delivered and making sure it's sort of doing the job, keeping our babies warm.
Yes, and you designed the sleeping suit.
Yep.
So
along with Lou, we were the creators.
Yeah.
The sleeping bag growing its legs, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's a really good thing that you're here.
Thank you.
So, so we're going to talk to you about sleeping suits, give you a bit of an overview, and then after that you can ask questions as you go. If we don't get to your questions, we will answer them later. So, Amanda, let's talk about why we designed, or why you guys designed the Woolbabe sleeping suit, and then we can talk a little bit about why you'd go for a sleeping suit versus a sleeping bag.
Yeah. So sleeping suit, for those of you who have not seen it before, this is our littlest size, 6 to 12 months. So we sort of developed this for as children getting older and wanting to move out of a sleeping bag. Great for transitioning into big beds, you know, once they're coming out of their cots or the sides of the cots are coming down, and those little pitter patter on the feet when I walk around in the night, you know, not what we want to hear, but so yeah, that's why we introduced this one.
Perfect. And talking about why you would choose like a sleeping suit versus a sleeping bag, why that might be. So I guess, like as you said, as you're transitioning, little ones that start getting up in the middle of the night, once they're in a big bed, are able to get, you know, they're not in the cot anymore. If they're in a sleeping bag, it's not very safe for them to be, well, it's not safe at all for them to try to walk around in a sleeping bag. So exactly. So that's why you go for a sleeping suit. The other option would be if your little one's starting to get frustrated in their sleeping bag. So if they're in their sleeping bag and they're starting to resist it, or they're getting frustrated because they're starting to move around, and then to stand up.
It's mainly the moving thing. They want to they're active, they want to sort of do things. So getting them out of the bag and into a suit, but still having the same sleep association as the Woolbabe gives. So they still know they go in their sleeping suit, it's sleep time. So, but they can just move a little bit more. So,
and the familiarity, if they have been in a Woolbabe sleeping bag, of the same feel as the Duvet wet bag, the same feel as a sleeping pre-season sleeping suit. The other reason is maybe your little one hasn't ever been in a sleeping bag or a sleeping suit, and maybe it's getting cold and they're going into a big bed, they're starting to kick off blankets, they've got more movement. You might want to look at popping them into a sleeping suit. So
it's that peace of mind, isn't it, through the night, knowing that they're nice and warm and snuggly in those really cold nights that we've been having. So and people say to us, like, if their baby's sleeping well in a sleeping bag, why would you want to move to a sleeping suit, or when they should move to a sleeping suit? And that's my advice as well. Just if your baby is sleeping well in their sleeping bag, don't change to a sleeping suit because you feel like you should. The Woolbabe sleeping bags do come up to 2 to 4 years and 3 to 6 years. So if your baby's sleeping well in it, just continue the good thing. You can keep them in the sleeping bag, but it is common that babies would start resisting the sleeping bag or are starting to get out and walk around, and that's when you need to look at something like this so that it is safe for your little ones. So cool. So what we thought we would do now is look at the difference between the 3-season and a duvet weight. So look at the different sleeping suits, so you can see the difference between them. So I've got the duvet right here, nice snuggly one,
and I've got the sleeping suit, the 3-season. So this is the 3-season bag, and so did you want to talk about like the difference between the two?
Sure. So our 3-seasons bag, as you can see, it's a lot lighter. It's got 2 layers of our beautiful merino cotton blend. So we've got all the benefits of the merino, but with the easy care of the cotton. So you've got 2 layers there, so you can do it this way, can see up here. So 70% cotton, 30% merino, 2 layers in there.
Perfect.
And depending on what you dress your baby child underneath, you can sort of use it, you know, summer, depending how warm your house is.
About 18 to 28 degrees we recommend.
Summer to autumn.
If your room temperature's around that's a good room temperature for this, whereas the duvet weight is more around 14 to 22 degrees for the average room.
You can see that one's just a little bit thicker.
And that's much more flexible than your duvet weight.
So I've got a little dissected sort of, you can see inside over here. So here's one I prepared earlier. So this is our duvet weight. As you can see, that's the outer layer, so that's the 7% cotton, 30% merino, and then inside we've got, these are the layers. Can you see that nice and close up there, Georgie? So this is our beautiful plush. Oh, it feels so lovely for that. It's so nice.
Oh, so nice.
There we go, nice and close. And that's the wool filling, and then we've got our organic lining there. So that's next to the skin. So that's kind of what goes inside. And the beautiful wool wadding is what helps keep your baby nice and toasty warm, and it's breathable. Everything's breathable, all natural. So helps baby regulate temperature. Nice and warm and cozy. And
the 3 seasons, just so you're aware, there is 2 layers of this, so that's what makes up that 3 seasons.
There's nothing
sleeping
between
suit. There's nothing between it. It's just the 2 layers, whereas that's the duvet weight. And also, we get a lot of questions around, are they good for babies or little ones with eczema? This is the organic cotton lining. So 100% organic cotton, so it's really good on sensitive skin as well. So you're not actually sleeping on, your little one's not sleeping on merino at all. With the 3 seasons though, it is the 30% merino, 70% cotton. It's not lined on the 3 seasons one. So.
Also, it's great that there's we've got the cotton in the inside for any of those dreaded nappy explosions. You know? It's like on the inside.
Cool.
Nice. Easy care.
Yeah, so that's the main difference between them. So as I said, the duvet weight is around, if your little one's room is around between average 14 to 22 degrees, you'd probably look at wanting to get a duvet weight. More 18 to 28 degrees, you're probably looking at like the 3 seasons option, and then what you would do is just add layers or remove layers depending on how warm it was or how your little one was doing. I think it's really important to note, like, not to worry too much about the exact layer, as long as you're using natural fibres.
And check the back of baby's neck.
The back of baby's neck, their chest, make sure that they're cozy, warm, not too hot, not sweaty or anything like that. If you're using the natural fibres, if you think they're a bit cold, add on an extra layer, pop on some socks. If you feel like they're too warm, take off a layer. So they're very versatile when it comes
it's also very normal for babies to have cold hands and feet as well, because we often get questions about arms. We do an arm version, but as long as the baby's body is the core is warm, often, I mean, I've got cold hands now and I'm perfectly warm, so it is very normal. It doesn't mean that they're cold if their sort of hands and feet are cold. But, you know, you can always pop on those nice socks. Keep them nice and toasty.
I did have a question, like why don't they have feet?
Oh, okay. So that was a conscious decision when we sort of were reviewing what we wanted to do. We sort of really want the Woolbabe to be, you can pass it down, use it for multiple children. So the idea was that you get more use out of it, really. You've still got the option of the extra long cuff at the bottom, so you can lift it up. So the idea was that we would have this nice cuff, slightly dropped crotch, so that as they grow in their legs, you can keep using it and keep passing it down. So we just say, pop on a pair of socks. My daughter has her sleep suit, and she has a nice warm pair of Lamington.
And this is the cuffs are made from the same material as a 3-season sleeping suit. So it's got that 30% merino, 70% cotton organic blend in there. So it's going to keep your little ones from if it like drops over your little one's feet as well. Or you can use it to pull the socks over the top. So.
Also means they don't wear, you know, if you've got so that you can get turnover cuffs, they might wear through it and you'll get less use out of it just with natural wear and tear. But we made that decision. So
cool.
Hope that helps.
So sizing is something that we get asked a lot about with the sleeping suits. So we get questions whether they're generous sizing, are they true to size, should you upsize, all those kind of questions. So Amanda designed the sleeping suit with Lou, and so she's going to talk to us about the sizing and what we would recommend, and we'll show you the differences between a few.
So I think you've got the 2 and the 3 there, haven't you? Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, I've got a size 2
and maybe a 1
and a 1.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so sizing. So it is designed like a sleeping bag to wear your layers underneath. So as an outerwear piece, you can put your, the Woolbabe long sleeved zip suit is great underneath. Zips are on the same side, gotta just add that. So that if you do have any nighttime nappy changes, because odd one still kind of crops up even when they get a bit older, the zips are on the same side, so you can sort of shimmy out one leg, and which is really handy. So sizing is generous.
This is the zip suit, by the way,
but I would always recommend buying the size. So the size that your child is. A size 1 is designed to last a 1-year-old from 1 to 2. So you'll probably find if you buy one for a 1-year-old, when you put them first in it, it's probably looks a little bit bigger. But as they get to 2, it'll still the idea is that it still fits them.
Yes.
So based on the Australasian standards, it's sort of a size 1 is kind of ideally to fit an 18-month, but always go with your child. If your child is bigger, refer to our sizing chat online, and sort of choose what fits your child. But it is for an average size child, like a 1-year-old, you would be buying a size 1 to last them for a whole year, plus some. I mean, my daughter, I bought her a sleeping suit size 2 last May when she was 2. She's a May baby, and she still fits the 2 now, and she's just turned 3, so she's kind of at the end now. Like her feet, the cuffs are sort of pretty fully extended with a little bit of bunching, but she would be going into a size 3 now, and she's an average size 3-year-old.
Yes, and I've got little girl who's nearly 2, and she can still fit the size 1 comfortably. So she'll be 2 at the end of the month, and she's average size as well. So I would definitely not recommend upsizing. Buy the size that the clothes that your little one wears, I would say, and we'll put links to the sizing guides as well. But you can see from here, I mean, this is size 1 and 2, so you can see the difference between.
There's about 6 to 7, depending. The growth isn't incremental because of the way that the child grows. But so it's about 6 to 7 in the length as you go. So to allow for those legs getting longer. But 3 here.
Perfect.
And sort of incremental through the chest and the shoulders and everything. So,
Cool.
So you've got the 1 and the 2.
I've got the 1 and the 2. What have you got there?
The 3 and the 4.
So that's the difference between the 3 and the 4.
Yeah.
There you go, so you can see the difference there. And I think we get a lot of questions around the difference between 2 and 3, so we'll just show you the 2 and 3 as well.
That's probably the most popular, isn't it? Is it going?
So in front here we've got the size 2, and then that there, I don't know if you can see that, that's the size 3, so that's the difference in the crotch there. And
just to pull it one way, so you can see here. So go.
So that's the difference in the width there. So that gives you a good idea. Yeah. The other thing we wanted to just talk about as well is, I think if you want to grab that, Amanda, I'll grab the 3 seasons. We get a lot of questions around, obviously, the upsizing, and we've talked that a little bit just now, that we would recommend buying the one true to size as to what your little one is in now. It will be roomy, it will be baggy, and that's because it's been designed that way to add layers underneath. But it's important to know, especially with the 3 seasons, the 3 seasons has given it. So if you can see this, it's quite stretchy, whereas the duvet weight isn't stretchy.
It's because the duvet's got the woven fabric on the inside, which is only, it doesn't have any, it's not in the net, so it doesn't give in the same way. So visually, the 3 seasons looks different. Specification wise, I can tell you they're not. If anything, this is marginally smaller because it has to allow for the difference in the fabric. But visually it's the same with the bags as well. You kind of look at this and you go, oh, this looks a little bit bigger than this one, but they are the same. I would still stick to true to size.
Yes. And you definitely wouldn't want to upsize in a 3 season, because that's going to be super big. And I think as well, when you think about the size for your little one, if you did upsize in it, the crotch is going to be so low that it's going to be more difficult for them to walk. It's going to be more difficult for them to get their leg up on the couch,
the bed.
So that's why we say just stick true to size. So that's kind of the difference between the 3 seasons.
Lots of love for all the designs and colours.
Great. There's more coming.
The other questions that we get a lot of is caring for your Woolbabe, whether it be a Woolbabe sleeping suit or a sleeping bag. The do nots would be do not
use a liquid wash,
yes.
liquid wool wash.
You do want to.
Yeah, you want to.
That's a do. That's a do. That's not a do not.
Just to confuse you all, yeah. Do use liquid wool wash. You don't want the powder depositing on the merino. We have to look after our merinos. It's got the cotton in there, so because of the special merino cotton blend, it is pretty hardy, but we still have to look after the merino in there. That's
especially
key.
in the duvet weight.
Yes, especially the duvet weight, because you've got the extra layer of the wool wadding as well, so you have to protect that. So use a liquid wool wash.
You want to use a cold wash?
Yes.
So no hot washing?
Yeah, no more than 30. I wouldn't recommend anything more than 30. If you want to hand wash it yourself, I mean, who has time for that? But if you want to, you can add a little bit of, a little dash of warm water in so your hands don't freeze. But just a cool or cold wash, no more than 30.
Yeah. And no hot dryers. So no hot dryers. That is going to, it will shrink.
It will shrink it in. Yeah. So you want to hang dry, which often isn't possible in our lovely climate when it gets really cold. If you do hang dry, I just sort of turn it in and out, hang it in the sun, or low tumble dry, which is perfectly fine too. I low tumble dry mine lots through the winter. You can.
And maybe line dry it out. And then don't tumble dry it from wet. Line dry it out and then put it in a low.
Finish it off in the low
tumble dry.
Yeah. And just air it, hang it and air it. Once baby gets up in the morning, or hang it on the side and in the sunlight. Sunlight does amazing things like the stains and everything. So
I also when I wash mine, I don't have a dryer.
Well, there you go.
If I had a dryer, I would use it way too much. And my power bill will not like that. So I just hang it on a clothes. Hanger, and I have a big ranch slider, and I hang it over the curtain rail, and so it just hangs in the ranch slider, so it gets that sun when there is any sun.
Yeah, when the sun comes through.
So
did you cover? Just a quick question. A couple of times has come up. How often would you wash it?
Good question. No, we can come to that. Personal preference. I don't know about you. I probably don't wash it that much. You can, if you're one of those people that wants to wash every week. That's fine. I probably do mine every 2 to 3 weeks, but my girl is not messy. She sleeps in it, she comes out on it, there's no stains. We don't have explosions anymore, so but completely personal preference. We do get this question a lot, don't we?
We do, and I'm the same. I probably wash mine every 2 to 3 weeks as well. You got to think about it, it's kind of like your duvet or your blanket, so as long as there's no spills or there's no breakfast all over or whatever, you'd be fine to wash it every year. But again, it's personal preference. If you want to wash it every week, it's not going to harm it if you do, as long as you're washing it with the guidelines. And we also get questions on stains around like the neck, or someone's got some food on it, how would you get the stains out. There's lots of recommendations. The things that we find, or our customers have found that has worked, is like Sards Wonder Soap, so a bit of Sards Wonder Soap on it, leave it for a little bit, then wash it in the wool wash, or a paste of baking soda and water and a bit of lemon, and then leaving it out in the sunlight after you've washed it again.
The sunlight will do a great deal for it. The main thing is to not use something like nappy sand, and don't soak it, because those nappy sand agents actually eat away at the merino fibres and will sort of create holes. So don't use nappy sand. Treat it with care, but just a gentle wash on those stains, and sunlight, yes, magic when we get it.
Totally. Just going back, there was another question that we get a lot, just thinking about questions I get asked a lot on social, and our customer service teams get asked a lot. One is also, can you use the sleeping suits with blankets? And that is a question that we get quite often. The answer is they've been designed to be used without blankets, so just it's obviously safest not to be using blankets, especially when your little one is little.
So 6 to 12 months, I wouldn't be adding a blanket on, but once the child is getting older,
more toddlers and
parent intuition, but
over 18 months, 2 years, and you're starting to add in maybe a pillow, or you're starting to introduce like a blanket for sleeping in a big bed, transitioning into a big bed, the sleeping suit can be great, because you can give a really lightweight blanket. I think you said that Amelia used a quilt.
My daughter, she's in her sleep suit, and then she has one of our beautiful little unicorns quilts. So she's kind of transitioned to get used to a blanket, and she mostly stays under it, but then I've got the peace of mind when it gets really cold at that 4 a.m. that she's nice and warm, and if the blankets come off, I don't have to sneak into her room because she's a light sleeper and sort of put the blankets back on. So they are great for the transition.
And your daughter's 3?
She's just turned 3 in May. So and we're about to probably introduce an actual proper duvet, but maybe not now. Maybe next winter. Keep going. I love the sleep suit. So and it's that peace of mind for me.
Totally. And I think using your judgment again, that if you've got a really warm house, your little one's room's warm, you've introduced a gorgeous duvet. You wouldn't want to put them in a duvet weight sleeping suit with layers underneath. So maybe you might want to use a 3 seasons and only a singlet underneath, or no socks, that sort of thing. So just using your judgment with that as well. But the answer is you can, providing they're old enough to have blankets. But for those littler ones, 6 or 12 months, definitely not. You really want to use that for like more over 2.
For the once
over 2 years old.
So,
so is there any other questions, Georgie?
No, it's all good. You guys are answering all the questions.
Good. It's good to know.
That's good.
Awesome.
One quick thing. I did answer it, but I just want to check that you guys agree as well. Caring for your Woolbabe sleeping suit on the cycle, on the spin cycle. Would you keep it on a slow spin cycle?
So most delicate wool washes will have a low RPN. So you want it. I think mine does about 800 for the spin, so to keep it down. That is one thing that if you are putting it in the dryer, because you're putting it in more of a delicate spin, it might hold a little bit more water. So like you said before, Amelia, it's probably best just to let it dry out a little bit before putting it in the dryer. But it just depends on your machine. There's so many variables there. Machine. I could go on about it all day. But low spin. That's the summary of the question. Low spin.
And I wouldn't as well wash your Woolbabe, especially your duvet weight, and just leave it in your washing machine for a bit. Make sure you're there. Make sure you get it out of the washing machine. Hang it up straight away so it starts airing out and things like that. So you don't want to just leave it in there. The reason the sleep suit, correct me if I'm wrong, was designed is because babies start moving more, wanting to stand up, wriggle, resisting the sleeping bag. So I think you'll find that the sleeping bag is going to last you a lot longer because it's got a lot more length. You can have a smaller baby in quite a big sleeping bag, so you've got the 3 to 24 months. You can add more layers underneath if needed, so it's a little bit more versatile than a suit would be. And as they start moving and walking around, that's the idea of adding legs is for the safety from that concern, whereas a little baby is just always in the bed. They're not really trying to get up. So.
And when they're little as well, they often still want to pull their legs up. So they can do that with the freedom inside a bag, whereas you can still do that with a suit, but you're going to have more bulk. You're going to okay, this is a big baby, but you're going to have more bulk pulling up. So it's more comfort for the baby to be in a sleeping bag and have more freedom of moving and doing the little jiggy down here, moving their legs around.
I like that.
There we go. We actually introduced the 6 to 12 after because we had the demand. But I say probably from toddler size onwards.
And we do have the sleeping suits from 6 to 12 up to 5 years, all in the Pebble. We do have, I believe that the 6 to 12 is only available in Pebble and maybe Tide.
Tide is coming.
Tide is coming.
On its way.
And the other thing we haven't really talked about is a sleeved sleeping suit as well. So just if you do have little ones who get cold arms or you're concerned that their arms are cold, you can get the sleeved option, which is a gorgeous option. But I think the most popular is the non-sleeved, and that's only because it's more versatile. So when it gets warmer, you can actually reduce the layers and still have the arms out, whereas with this it is that quilted arm as well.
And some babies still like to use the duvet sleep suits in the summer,
and just have a nappy
they like that weight and that sort of comfort of having a layer on them. So with a sleeved option, it's great when it gets really, really cold, but with a non-sleeve you've got a bit more versatility in there.
Totally. So
that is our beautiful sleeve.
What are your thoughts on fabric conditioner? Do you need it?
Don't need it. No. A good liquid wash will do everything it needs to.
Perfect.
There you go. And if we didn't answer your questions or you got any other questions, just pop them in the comments and
you'll get answering.
I'll answer them afterwards. So thank you for watching.
Bye.